The electronics in your vision prop are removable, and this can be really helpful for servicing. If you ever need to replace it, this is how. Twist and remove the cap like you would for charging. You might have noticed that inside there's a little clear monofilament wire that, yeah, you can see that in there, that you can fish out, I would recommend, with a chopstick. Now, I'm kind of levering this on the side of the tube. What happens when it starts to come out is that this levering action is going to start pressing on the button in the USB jack, and that could damage it. So be careful and don't do that. You could also use a key or other object to do this with, but it's more likely to damage the button because the metal's so hard. So I recommend something like a disposable chopstick. It's nice and soft wood. Once you get that out far enough to where you look like you're going to start hitting the button, you can flip over to the other side and get under there and pull. Doing this, I can pull the core out of a full vision staff. Even easier with the poi, comes right out. And this way you could replace it, or you could check and see whatever's wrong, check out the battery. You can even replace the battery yourself. Putting it back in is even easier. You basically just stick it in. With the full vision staff, it's a little tricky to line up there we go, the inner part and the inner tube. You got to get that to go in smoothly. If you're just trying to shove it in and it's not going in, it's probably catching right there. Once you get that aligned, you're going to want to align the circuit board. I usually align the circuit board with the logo, or you align the battery with the button and the screw. And if you do that on both sides, then your boards are going to be lined up where they meet inside a full vision staff, a little less critical than the other vision props. And you can just push that in with your finger. When you get in past the end of the tube, it gets to a point where you kind of feel like you have to push directly on the button or USB jack to push it in. You don't want to push too hard on those. So again, chopstick comes in handy. The back end of the chopstick, if you put that off center next to the button on the circuit board, you can push on the circuit board super hard. You don't have to push very hard for it to get in there all the way. But just try to avoid putting too much force on the button and USB jack. Once it's in all the way, you can put your cap back on and you're good to go.